Hello there everyone, welcome to a new video. What is this tuft of hair doing? It is me, Desiree, and we are here today to discuss some Sentimental products. I have to wet this down, it's gonna drive me nuts. Well, when it dries, it'll probably poof back out. But we are here today to talk about some Sentimental makeup. There are a couple things in here that are not drugstore, but they're still sentimental to me. I still wanted to talk about them, so I'm just gonna lump them in the video. Of course, most of this is drugstore stuff, because isn't that where all of us kind of get our start with beauty products or makeup or whatever? I've just been going there forever, like for as far as I can remember. And I remember when I first started with Walgreens, it was like my first interview, and they ask you, why Walgreens? And I had this whole story about how I used to come here as a kid, and it was just like, why did I tell that story? Who knows? But I got the job, and I'm still there today. Anyway, so I'm just going to share with you some of the things I have and the story behind it and all that kind of stuff. I do have a brush, and I don't know if I still have the brush. I should go look for it. I feel like I do. It was a plastic set like this that opened up like this, and it had a slot for each brush. When you opened it, the brushes all fanned out. And there was two brushes. One looked just like this slanted brow brush from Real Techniques, almost identical, a little stiffer. And I used to use it all the time. So I would put eyeliner, the Wet n Wild black pencil that's this long eyeliner, and line almost my entire eyelid with it. Then I would get a black eyeshadow, and I would take this brush and put it in the shadow and then cover the entire line with the black powder eyeshadow. And I would just stamp it on there, and I loved how black it was. I loved doing all around my eye. I used to do it. And then another brush I had from that same set that I kept it forever. It was the only brush I had. I only owned two brushes, and it was this one, well, the one that looked like this, and that powder brush. It wasn't really a powder brush, but it's what I used it for. It was like about this big, a flat, blunt cut, pokey as heck brush, and I would rub it in the Revlon powder, and then I would press it on my face like this, and it would poke and irritate my skin, but I thought that's what brushes were like. I wonder if I still have it. I know I kept it for a long time through many moves and declutters because I couldn't let it go. I think I still have it. If I find it, where is it? Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next product. I think I'm going to go try and find it and then show you what it looks like, if I have it. So, one of the oldest things I have in here, I have one more that I can't find. It's the blue one, and the blue one is the one I used the most, and I know it's in that drawer. I just can't find it. But these are Wet n Wild Mega Eyes eyeshadows. Do you remember these? I feel like I've talked about these here and there over the couple of years on my channel. This one here is called Goddess. This is how they looked. They're in this little silver container. And then I have the other one here called Sensual Sage. Ooh. And then there's a blue one that's amazing. And the blue one was the thing that I used like crazy. I would get it and put it all over my eye, all over underneath, like all out here. Like it was just blue. And that's all I would do. The blue, the mascara, and the eyebrows, and all this powder. And I loved that blue eyeshadow so much. And then these other two I adored as well. They were so pigmented. One of the best eyeshadow formulas I have ever found. They don't make them anymore. These are so old. I tried them out not too long ago just to see what they would be like, because I don't care about hygiene. They're powders, they'll be fine. But they faded probably within like 10 minutes. They're not good anymore. But these are things I can't let it go. I can't let them go. And I was cleaning out the closet the other day, and I pulled down this box with all this kind of old stuff in it, and I was like, oh, it's time to get rid of that stuff. And I was like, no, I can't get rid of it. It's part of me. There are two little tiny things. I don't mind keeping it, and it's just taking up this much room, and I just really love them. And the blue one, I know it's in there, was the best one. I loved them so much. And then of course they discontinued them, but I hang on to them because I remember using them so often. Another thing I used so often were these Almay trios. This is what they used to look like. They did discontinue, or I thought they discontinued them. They've brought them back in black packaging, and I have one of them, and it's really good. But I remember these ones. I'm going to show you the dips in some of these. These were called Intense Eye Color, and they had, I think they still do it, but I'm not sure. I don't think they do. But they had like tailored eye color stuff. Like they would have stuff for green eyes, brown eyes, and hazel, or blue eyes or whatever, and then you pick colors that go with your eyes to make them pop. You know, buy whatever you want. But this is how they looked. I'm going to show you all three. And they would have, you would assume like a green brow bone shade, a green crease, and a purple lid. I mean, now I guess that's how I would look at it. Back then I didn't. I just kind of looked at it as 3 shades. This purple one was so good. I don't know if you can see the dip I made in it. I wore the heck out of this purple eyeshadow. It was just everything I wanted. It was smoky, lavendery, a little taupey. It was just so pretty. And of course I didn't have any brushes either, so I was using my finger for all of these. So I could never really get the green to be like what I wanted it to be, and I don't think I even touched this one, but the purple was just my favorite thing. And then with this one, you can very clearly see which shade I dug into, this one in the middle. The blue one, I remember it being really hard to use, especially with no brushes on my finger. This one really icy and frosty, but this bronze in here, oh my gosh. I remember this just being my dream. I loved it. Not the most pigment anymore, but I mean, it's like dug all the way into the pan. I can't believe I didn't touch the pan, but I loved this one so much. And then the last one here is another purple one. Look how much I dug into this shade here. Of course, again, used with my finger all the time. I loved this one. Really a lot more lilac-y color. And I remember when I dropped this in the sink and I busted out this eyeshadow, because I used to do makeup in the bathroom. And I would just stand at the sink. I also kept all my makeup in the bathroom, like on the little shelf that was there. And I would drop this all the time in the sink, and one shade finally broke out. I never used it anyway, but these are ones too that I don't use anymore. I have no use for them, but I can't not have them. Another one that I couldn't find were the ones from Revlon. Revlon has some that have like 4 rows, and well, a long time ago they did, and I used to use the heck out of those as well. I can't find them anymore, and I know I didn't get rid of them unless I did, but I don't have them here to show you. So let's just move on. One of my favorite quads ever is this one from CoverGirl called Tropical Fusion. This is a new one. This is not what it looks like, what it looked like before, and I always wish I saved the old one, but I don't have it anymore. It was the best thing ever. This orange shade right here, I used almost the whole entire pan. Same with the yellow. This one here, this is another one that I kept dropping in the sink all the time, and I kept trying to repress them because they cracked a lot. But these two I loved. I also loved this. And I remember loving this orange one so much, and I could never find an eyeshadow that looked like it. It's not the way it used to be. I don't know if they changed the formula when they updated the packaging. Like the green one is nothing like it used to be. It's not, you know, the best thing ever anymore, but I remember this being amazing. And I remember when I first saw this, I saw it on a display, it stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, oh, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was during a summer, and I thought this was like a summer quad, CoverGirl's limited edition summer, and I was like, that's beautiful. I used the freaking heck out of this. And then as I started running low and I was worried, like, what am I gonna do? I couldn't find it anymore. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, it was limited edition. Oh my God. Then I went on this hunt to try to find this orange shade in any other palette or single. Couldn't find one. And then one day I saw it at the grocery store. I was walking around at Smith's and I was like, oh my God, I think that's the Tropical Fusion. And I used it a few times. It's not the same as it used to be, but I still keep it because I just remember having this and loving the crap out of it. And I used it even though it was broken. The lid wasn't even a part of it anymore. And I always wish I saved the old one just for fun, but as long as I have that, I'll be okay. Another thing in that similar vein is the CoverGirl Bronzer. This one isn't even open because I used to use this all the time, all over my face. I would use it just sometimes all over my entire face like it was a face powder. I started using it first as a blush, and I loved the way it looked so much. I was like, this is the best blush ever. It's shiny. It looks like not a super highlighty look, but it gives you like a healthy freaking glow. And I would wear it all over my cheeks, just big, giant bronzed cheeks that I started using on my face. I loved it. Wore down almost the whole pan. It was so good. I just love this thing so much. And then I saw this one on clearance, and I was running out of the other one that I had already been using. And I was like, I better buy that because I'm going to keep using it. And then, of course, as it always happens, you try something else. Wait, there's other things out there? And I started trying other things, and I haven't even come back to this to open it, but I can't let it go either. I know I'm sure I'll open this again one day to try it out and see if it is everything I thought it was. And it's just, I just love it so much. I love it. Someone outside. Another thing, this Rimmel Glam Eyes. Do you remember these? So I only have this one. This is the shade True Union Jack. And at the time, I didn't realize what a dumb design this was for an eyeshadow palette, or a 1, 2, 3, 4 for quad. I didn't realize that, because how on earth are you supposed to use this teeny tiny little triangle here, or this dark blue, or that tiny little white without getting the blue mixed in with the white? It didn't occur to me that this wasn't a great design. It just obviously looks cool. Either way, I only used the pink. I don't know if you can see that dip I made in the pink. Of course, with my finger, I would just get it here and then put it on. Ooh, it's still pretty right here. And I started using this, and I bought this specifically for that pink because another couple things I could swear I still had, but I think I finally tossed them. Jane, not Jane when it came back, Jane, the original Jane, used to have these eyeshadows that linked together. And I know that, what's the brand that does it now? Jouer had done it one time, and then everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Everyone thought Jouer invented it. Anyway, Jane had done them a long time ago, and there was a purple one and another purple that I bought together, and the 2 bronze ones that I bought together. It was a purple and a pink. I literally scraped out the edges of that because I loved it so much. And I bought this to replace it with that pink, and I adored it so much. Look how cool. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. That's a really pretty pink. Maybe I'll try this again. And then, of course, they discontinued these, and I haven't touched it in a long time until this moment, but I loved this. I loved this so much. I have to keep it. I'm trying to keep them in like the oldest to the newest, but I'm starting to like get the timeline kind of fuzzy. So let's just start grabbing things out. I talk about these every now and then, and they are so old for cream blushes. They are the Maybelline Master Glaze. I think I have 12 of these. I can't let them go. I don't care if they're expired. I don't use them. Not for any particular reason. I would use them. I have no qualms against using expired things because it's just my face anyway. But they discontinued the Master line way too quick. It was so good. It discontinued so fast. I don't know why. I loved the branding of it. I remember this image of this girl that was on the picture for this promotion. It was like her looking to the side, and she had this huge pink thing of blush. It just looked crazy beautiful, and I was like, I want that on my face. It's from this. So I bought every single one that was available. I bought the limited edition ones. They came out with like this neon, summer neons or something like that line for summer one year. I bought all the ones that were in that line. I just brought these ones out to show you. They came out with little bronzer ones. They came out with matte ones. I bought every single one. I used the heck out of these. I loved them so much. This was one of my favorites called Barely Pink. And I love it. I love these a lot. They don't have the pigmentation they used to, especially the shiny ones. And I don't really go out of my way to use them, but I can't let them go. I can't do it. I know once I put these in the trash, I'm going to regret it so bad. My stomach's going to hurt. And I'm like, you know what? They're not taking up that much room. So yeah, I'm going to keep them because I have to. The next thing I have here, the Master line. I have this Master Bronzer. I bought this not too long ago, actually, at Big Lots. I cannot believe this was at Big Lots. And I bought it purely because it's part of the Master line. And I never tried the bronzer before. It is not a good shade for me. But I bought it because I love the Master line's packaging so much that I wanted to have this. I also found one of the Master highlights at TJ Maxx, of all places. How did it end up there? I don't know. But I just loved the Master line so much. I love the identity of it. What is it called? It's like the brand identity? I don't know what it's called. I don't know anything. So I keep this purely because it's part of that line that I miss so much. And that's why I keep it. It's an old product, but I bought it recently. The next thing is this worn up thing, the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush and Glow Trio in the shade Solar Powered. I used to use this all the time. Remember when Wet n Wild used to come out with good and fun limited edition collections for spring or for summer? Do you remember that? They used to be fun, and now Wet n Wild is just eh. But this was something that I adored. It's way too pigmented. That blush looks great, but it's very pigmented. And then the two here that are like a bronzer and a highlighter, very pigmented. But I wore it like crazy anyway because I just loved it. I loved how big this compact was. I loved the white packaging. I love the name, solar powered, and I love the shades in here. And I can't let it go either. I don't use it anymore, not for any particular reason, just because it's in a box in the closet. But I have to keep it. I have to. This is one of the things that isn't drugstore, but it's from the Body Shop. It's these honeycomb, or what are they called? Just bronzing powder, I guess. You guys know what they are. This I keep because I remember a time when YouTube used to be different. And it used to be fun. There was no drama. There was no drama on YouTube. There weren't drama channels stirring crap up. No one cared. It was just fun. And don't you miss those times? Me too. Anyway, at that time, anybody who was anybody was using this bronzer except me. And I always wanted it because it looks cool. The compact is stunning. Look at this beautiful color, and it's plastic. When you look at the top, you can see the honeycomb through it. It's just beautiful. And I remember the day I wanted to go buy this. I was like, you know what? Today's the day I'm buying that bronzer. And I have two. I also have another one. I just bought as many as they had in stock because the day that I went to go buy this bronzer, here's another one. It wasn't on the shelf. And I was like, do you guys still carry the bronzer with the honeycomb pattern? And she's like, you know what? They're discontinuing it. I have it in the back. Do you want some? And I was like, they're discontinuing it. I thought that was a really popular product. She's like, you need to write a letter to them and tell them not to get rid of it because it's a fan favorite. And I was like I'm going to be able to stop that. It's still available on their website as far as I know, because I know a lot of body shops have been closing recently. I don't even have one here anymore. They closed both of them. But she went to the back, pulled out this Ziploc bag of all the shit. It's like they just cleared off the shelf and threw them in a bag. And then all the testers were in there all broken. They were covered with powder. It was just a big messy bag. And I was like, I want this bronzer so bad. I'm going to buy those messy, dirty ones. They were sealed up and everything, but they were just not looking good. And I was like, oh, which shade should I get? She's like, you should get more than one because you know what? They're not making it anymore. They're discontinuing it. And I was like, okay, so I bought one of each shade that was available just in case, and I can't let it go, even though I don't use them, and I actually don't like this bronzer at all. I can't let it go just because of that, what I did to get it. And then I have a couple Wet n Wild things here. I don't have any sentimental value attached to these, but I, for some reason, can't let go of them just because I like the look of them. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Gold Bar, and I remember when this came out, people lost their minds. Like, it flew out of stock. You could never get it again. It was crazy. What the heck? They discontinued it. It was limited edition, whatever. People were going crazy for it. I bought it in a holiday gift set. It came with this and something else I don't remember. And I don't like it that much. But I keep it because I remember the craze behind it. And I bought it and I was like, oh my God, I finally got that. I finally own the gold bar. And it's not that good. But anyway, this is what it looks like. It also has a little mirror that pops out right here. And it's just a cute compact. And I remembered finally getting it and thinking it was so special and beautiful and not that good. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this palette. I've even decluttered this in a video. I talked about it. I said I don't want it anymore. It's a decluttered item. But I can't declutter it. I can't give it away. I can't give it to someone. I can't do anything with it because I remember when this came out. I mean, it was just a very exciting day for a lot of people. I had to work that day, so my boyfriend so kindly got up and went and waited at Ulta before they opened and was like calling me frantically going, they don't have it over here. She said it sold out really fast. They only had a couple and that the workers bought them. Like they didn't even keep any for regular shoppers, that the workers set them all aside for themselves. And I was like, what? That's so rude. Anyway, so I was like, can you go to the other Ulta, please, and go get it? He was like, I'm already on my way. So went over there, got the palette for me. I was just like, look at it. And then when you open it, like it's a really pretty range of shades. This is the most difficult palette for me to use. I don't enjoy this formula at all. But I can't for some reason let it go, and I think it's because just of whose palette it is. I don't care about Makeup Revolution very much, but I do like Emily a lot. My boyfriend went out of his way to get it for me, and I feel like I have to keep it. He also asks about this every once in a while, goes, hey, do you still have that palette? And I was like, yes, I do. Luckily, he doesn't ask if it's any good, but he asks about it every once in a while, so I know one day if he asks me, hey, where is it? I'm like, oh, it's getting fixed. You know what? I took it to the cleaners. It's getting cleaned up. Anyway, that is it for my very long, I didn't expect this video to go so long, video about Sentimental products and why I keep them. Let me know some of the products you keep for sentimental reasons and the reasons behind them, the stories. I would love to know. If you've tried any of these things, let me know your thoughts and opinions as always, and I will see you tomorrow in another drugstore video. Bye!